In today's video, I'll be showing you how I edited the Sidemen music videos in Adobe Premiere Pro. If you do use other softwares, don't let that throw you off because I'm sure you can still pick up some tips and tricks that can be translated to other editing programs. Anyway, let's get right into it. I'd like to say a big thank you to Harman, who have sent me some new audio tech that I'm currently using to create this video. They've hooked me up with the AKG Lyra microphone that is perfect for creating podcasts, YouTube videos, music, and much more. With its modern design and its vintage appeal, this microphone has some great features, such as the internal shock mount and built-in sound diffuser. The 4 capture modes make this microphone extremely versatile, giving you the full control on how you want to capture your sound. As a USB mic, it works right out of the box. Plug it into your computer, load up your audio software, and away you go. This mic is designed for those who want premium quality audio without needing to have additional gear or any in-depth knowledge of audio. I've also been sent a pair of compact powered monitors. The JBL 104s deliver a balanced and accurate audio. For me, they're an ideal pair of speakers to have on my desk when I'm editing videos. They're very well built, tough, with a solid enclosure and rubber bases offering some isolation from vibration. Around the back, you get both standard 1/4 inch Pro inputs and 3.5mm inputs for phones, laptops, and MP3 players. The JBL 104s will appeal to anyone looking for a portable pair of speakers that perform well enough for serious audio tasks. Okay, so we have our footage and it's just a bunch of random titles and it can seem a little bit overwhelming at first. First thing to do is organize the clips into their own folders. In this instance, it will be broken down into the locations. I also like to rename the clips. So for example, if it's a solo performance shot, I will name it after that person. If you want to be super awesome, you can even color code your clips. Right click on your selected clips, hit label, and then pick your color. As you can see, I've assigned a different color for each person. And if your project is different and only maybe has one artist, then you can color code by the locations or the type of setups you've done. The next step is to actually drop your clips into the timeline and start synchronizing them with the track. Premiere Pro has a very cool function where it can actually synchronize all of the clips for you. Simply create a new sequence and drag each clip onto a new track. Highlight your clips, right click, and click synchronize. Make sure you have audio selected and then click OK. And then just wait and let the computer do its thing. The more footage you have, the longer this process will take. It's important that the clips you want to sync stay on their own individual track. Otherwise, the synchronize function will not even be available, so look out for that. Once all of the clips are laid out onto your timeline, it will look something like this. You're now ready to start cutting. The idea is that you look through each take and select your favorite parts. For me, a shot is perfect when I'm happy with the composition and camera movement, how the person looks on camera, and if it works well with the music. I also created a new sequence where I dropped in some of the cutaways from the day, some filler shots to tell our story. I have clips of people entering the recording studio. I feel like this will work great with the concept of the video. I also have some clips of the boys reacting to the tracks. I thought this would work well on the day as the energy was super high from them and I wanted to show that off in the music video. The lady who interrupted our shoot and kicked us off the premises came in during the second take of the group shot, so I've only got 2 takes of the group shot. We all thought it was actually quite funny, so decided to keep that in. However, we had to blur her face for privacy reasons, and I did that by creating an adjustment layer and applying a mosaic filter onto that. I had to draw a mask around her face and keyframe that sequence. For anybody that doesn't know what keyframing is, keyframing basically allows you to animate and give things life. As an example, I'm going to do a simple move between 2 frames, one for my starting position on the left-hand side and ending position on the right. Once you set the 2 frames, the software does the rest of the work. A term for creating slow motion film is overcranking, which refers to the hand cranking of an early camera at a faster rate than normal. I shot this specific clip at 50 frames a second and doubled the speed of the music. Sick. The idea is to slow the clip down by half, making it 25 frames a second. This way, the music will now match up to our lip sync and give us more of a graceful and fluid performance, matching the mood of the track.
I don't need gifts, no. I am the gift, yeah. I don't need gifts, no, I don't need gifts.
Speed ramping or time remapping is the art of slowing down and speeding up your footage in order to produce a dramatic and creative effect. All of my footage was shot in 50 frames a second, but then edited in a 25 frames a second timeline. That was done on purpose. I had an idea of playing around with the speeds and slowing things down throughout my edit. The most simple way to do this in Premiere is to cut the section of the clip that you want to mess around with, right click and adjust the speed here. The higher the percentage, the quicker the clip will play. There is another way to speed ramp on Premiere, but I feel that's a bit more technical and has the potential to leave your clip out of sync. Maybe I can talk about that in another video where I can go into more detail about that. When it came to color grading, my main concerns were the shots in the recording studio. They had some very harsh lights from the top coming down onto the person's face, and nothing seemed to rescue that. I did turn the saturation all the way down and created some more contrast in the shot. The classic black and white grade came to the rescue. The exterior performance shots had too much yellow light in them, so I used the Lumetri hue versus saturation tool and reduced some of that. The rest of the studio shots were given a bit more of an exposure and contrast. One last boring task was to actually add the lyrics to the video. It's a simple task, but it's repetitive. You create a text layer and cut it in places, adding each line of the lyrics to match the song. And I suppose I should mention the second music video. The only thing is, half of it was shot by me, half of it was shot by Charlie, so I don't want to take too much credit there. However, I did do the edit, and that's what I want to talk about. So there were two main effects that I used in that video. One of them was the VHS filter from the Red Giant Universe package. It's a simple drag and drop process, so there's nothing too hard there. And the other effect was creating multiple Jamies on the screen. Usually to achieve this effect, you'd have to draw around your subject and then frame by frame cut them out like that so you can separate them from your background. However, I shot this against a plain backdrop. I was able to use the color key tool on Premiere to sample the color of my background, which was white, and then get rid of any white on screen. So that means I now have a transparent background. With our background now gone, I created a solid white object to replace that background that we took away. Now that we have our separate layers, I then duplicated JME 2 more times and keyframed his positions to the other part of the screen. That's pretty much it. If you take your time on a project and do everything in small stages, as well as staying organized, it should be a fun and creative process opposed to it being a task. Feel free to hit me up on my socials, Twitter and Instagram. The links are all in the description below. Until then, I'll see you on the next one.
I'm still rolling with my gang and my G squad and my team. Try the commotion, it ain't nothing to write for the bro them. Like la di da di da da da, 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 la di da di. Eyes on the gang when we walk in at the party.